Correspondents. I was asked to chair this meeting this evening, thanks to a long acquaintance with Donald Keene, going back 40 years or more. And I'd like to say one thing about his book, the book that we're looking at this evening. Copies are available at the front desk. There's a hard copy at 3,000 yen, and then there's a paperback at 1,500 yen. So if you want to go there, Donald has already signed a certain number of copies. I'm not sure whether they're all signed, but in any case, the hardbacks certainly are. I suggest if you want to make sure that you get a copy, you should go and take it right now.
Unusually nicely bound.
Yeah. I'm inexperienced in this role of MC here. I should be asking you to turn your portable telephones off if you've got such. All of those should be turned off. It's my great pleasure to introduce Donald this evening. He was introduced to me by Mishima Yukio about 40 years ago on a memorable afternoon in Shimoda. And at this point, he's going to talk about the book that's just come before us, though it was in fact published 2 years ago. And this book is an autobiographical effort, and it covers an enormous span. It comes from a time when Japanese literature was not recognized as world literature. Go forward 50 years, and Japanese literature is recognized as an important part of human heritage. And it's at this stage, then, that Donald has chosen to write this autobiographical effort. I would like to welcome him personally on behalf of all of us. It's been quite a while since we set up this schedule. We first of all thought of it in October of last year, long, long before the earthquake, long, long before Donald made up his mind to apply for Japanese citizenship, which will be later this month. So what I would like to say is, Donald Keene needs no introduction. He is his own introduction, and it comes in his book. Please give him a good hand and welcome his talk to us now.
The first question that comes to mind when talking about the book, The Chronicles of My Life, is a basic one. Why did I write it? There were good reasons for not writing it. I had already written 2 autobiographies, and there's only so much you can do in an autobiography in the way of changing things. I couldn't very well decide that being born in New York was less exciting than being born in Rio de Janeiro or Tahiti or somewhere like that, and therefore make my life seem more dramatic. So, and I felt that it was unlikely that anyone would want to read 3 books all about myself. The editor at the Yomiuri Shimbun, Ozaki Mariko, a very, very intelligent and interesting person, commanded me. She said, I hate to mention this, but I don't think your autobiography that's been published so far has sold more than 5,000 copies. The Yomiuri Shimbun has a circulation of 1,500,000 copies. This immediately suggested a different audience was at hand. But many of the facts could not be changed, even for one writing for the 3rd time. For example, I couldn't describe how I have to study Japanese in a different way. And it was possible, of course, that I could change it, and the 1,500,000 499,000 people who hadn't read my previous books wouldn't make them know the difference. But somehow, I didn't feel like being untruthful when writing about myself. Ozaki-san had another thing to suggest to me, that I should write the book in terms of vehicles that I had experienced in my lifetime. I was not old enough to experience a horse-drawn buggy as a normal way of getting around, but I did remember from boyhood days that milk was delivered by a cart pulled by a horse, and the horse knew at which houses to stop, and it was also a concomitant memory was that the sound of the milk bottle being put down by my back door. All this, of course, has changed. But mentioning such things are not necessarily as much interest to other people as they might be to me. When one is writing an autobiography, one tends to become nostalgic and even sentimental about little things that are recalled from the past, about lovable people who brought sunshine into my life when I was a forlorn little boy, and so on. But other people might not have the same experience. And so I decided that I would use the idea of vehicles changing, the way we get around, but I would use them very lightly. And as a matter of fact, the theme tends to disappear as the book goes on. Apart from the framework of the changes in the vehicles, there's another recurrent theme, and this goes on all the time, and that is my interest in foreign languages, beginning with my experience as a boy of 9, when my father took me to Europe. I was attracted especially by French, which sounded to me marvelously musical. French still has a great charm for me. I remember as a boy, this is one of the kind of memories I shouldn't be putting forth, but having a shortwave radio